Hello, everybody. We have reached Hump Day. It is January 27, 2021. We are almost through the first month of this last flow. Oh, that was just awful. That was fucking terrible. Just terrible.
Will woke up with some wieners in his mouth this morning.
All right, 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody? We made it to Hump Day, January 27, 2021. Already flying through this goddamn month. Dale, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How you feeling?
A lot better than you.
There's a lot that's happening, dude. The state's reopening.
I know.
We have restaurants and bars opening up.
We
Pretty
can go
stoked
take
about.
shots.
Dale's ready to be hungover all the time again. Surprised he's not wearing his hungover hoodie right now.
Because I'm not hungover yet.
GameStop is somehow making billions of dollars. There's lots of news going on.
Literally.
But on a sad note, because we weren't recording yesterday, we had to send tribute, even though we're not Lakers fans. We were huge Kobe Bryant fans. Rest in peace. Kind of crazy. It's already been a year since that tragic day where he kind of made the world stop. He had, not just in the sports world, we're talking like global news where people were stopping what they were doing and looking at TVs and reading articles on what he was doing. It's just so sad. I mean, he passed away in that helicopter crash. I mean, Dale, where were you when you heard the news?
I remember I was still like relatively brand new out here, and my aunt and uncle and I went to see my uncle's hospital. I was up at UCSD with my little cousin and my fam, and we were just walking around, and I got the text that like Kobe died, and I was just like, what? So like I went to Twitter, and I remember I looked at Twitter after I initially got the text, and Twitter had nothing. And I was like, this can't be real. Like, there's no way.
It's a hoax.
Yeah. And then I'm not even exaggerating. I could no sooner put my phone back in my pocket, and my group chats were just blowing
up
nuts. And then I was like, dude, I was just on Twitter. Like, there's not a single thing that I could look again. And then I remember looking, and it was...
It's surreal.
Everywhere. Like, it's still hard to, like, come to grips with just because he was in our game, like, in our lives so recently. Even when he retired, like Mamba mentality, all the media stuff he was doing.
He won a fucking Oscars.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people were even more excited to see post-career. Could he have been like a commissioner of the WNBA? Could he have like revamped like the AAU circuit for younger basketball players? I mean, rest in peace to his daughter Gianna and the 7 others.
Everyone involved, yeah.
That passed away, all those families. I mean, it's so sad. I was covering the Farmers Insurance Open, which is this week. We'll talk about that more on Friday.
Yep.
I was watching Tiger Woods tee off. We were at Torrey Pines, South Course, 8th hole, par 3. I'll never forget. I saw him tee off, just a beautiful, just dart stuck within like 12 feet of the hole. And some schmuck I hear in the background goes, Kobe Bryant just died. And we're like... People I was working with, like, there's no fucking way.
Yeah, like, no way.
Dale, similar to what you were saying, you put the phone down. I mean, it was, like, worse than wildfire. I mean, you just heard, like, a collective buzz from all of everyone's phones, like, holy shit, just going off.
Kept going off.
And everyone thought it was fake, because TMZ's fucking done that before where they've been hacked, saying that celebrities have died.
Yeah.
And when you saw that, you're like, what the fuck? That completely took the air out of the tournament. It was sad. I mean, that was a really sad week.
Yeah, it's one of those moments where I feel like it doesn't matter how old we get, we're always going to remember like where we were, just because like how shocking and how tragic and just how much Kobe meant to a lot of people, especially out here in California.
Even in San Diego, as much as they hate LA, I mean, there's a lot of Laker fans here.
Yeah, I mean, not even Laker fans, just Kobe fans.
Kobe fans, yeah.
You can be a fan of the person and not support like a franchise. Because I mean, look at all the good Kobe did do for basketball community, the arts community. Everything he touched turned gold. So
yeah, and it's unfortunate because he has the bad news what happened in Colorado, but he was able to rectify that, and he was still a hero in that town. So
yeah,
rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. Crazy, very crazy.
Absolutely nuts. So on the movement front, William, next season's going to look a little different for an NFL. I want to say legend in his own right. I think he's one of the OG gunslingers that I would say you and I grew up with. Matt Stafford. He's the gunslinger of the league right now. He's been the gunslinger for the last few years. But his time in Detroit looks to finally be up. Where do you see him landing next year?
So he goes to management and he asks for a trade.
Rightfully so.
I think it's time.
Yeah,
rightfully so. I think it's time for a divorce.
I would have asked for it after Calvin Johnson retired.
Yeah, I mean, after they botched that, and then
I would have been
10 years before that, they botched Barry Sanders. I don't know what the hell the Lions are doing.
Yeah, no idea.
And I think after that coach, the Dan Campbell wants to bite people's knees. I don't know if he wants to play. No, but seriously. Matt Stafford, look, yes, he is a gunslinger. I do think some of his stats are inflated because Megatron was so goddamn good. He was awesome to play in Madden. I remember that. Teams to go to, I gotta say the Colts. You have Phillip Rivers retiring. I'm done crying over that. He could, play with Frank Reich. Hey, I'm still crying. No playing that, man. Team up with Frank Reich. You got a great offensive line. You got a young, vibrant defense, and you got a great back in Jonathan Taylor. Maybe the 49ers. You can team up Kyle Shanahan. Maybe the Patriots. I mean, I don't know. Where would you go?
I think I was looking at this. I really think that the Colts might be the only situation that makes sense. Yeah. I don't think that Belichick's going to be in the mood or the market for another rental quarterback, which is...
That's what Cam was?
Yeah, sadly, that's what Cam is. I think that the Patriots are going to go draft. Bill understands he needs to develop somebody. And going out west, the Niners, Garoppolo still has a lot of money on that contract. I don't necessarily see that fitting, and I don't see a team taking Jimmy G's contract this offseason.
Well, he's going to be a free agent, so it's like, if whoever wants, I don't know. I think they're done. They're holding the cards close to the vest, but I think the Colts would be. I mean, do you see him are they a Super Bowl team if he goes to the Colts?
The Colts are the one team on the list that I've seen where you can insert Stafford, and there's not going to be a drop-off from last year.
They have new receivers.
Yeah.
Michael Pittman.
Their offense is electric. Their defense is already very good. They just need someone to get in there who can handle an offense, run the offense, and win some games. Yeah. And honestly, I think Stafford can win some games. I don't think the talent that he's had around him his entire career has benefited him to win games, per se. I mean, if they have a good offense, they have a terrible defense. So they have a great defense, they have a pathetic offense. Like, they can just never get it clicking.
And they never win. He needs to win. He's never won a playoff game. I mean, you're there for 12 years. No playoff wins?
No playoff wins, but... yeah, I mean, that's something to definitely keep our eyes on. Will, we have baseball news, or lack of. What happened with the Hall of Fame?
No news at all. So for the first time since 1961, there was no one voted into the Hall of Fame. I mean, I don't know how much more 2020 that can be, or I guess 2021 now. We're having residual negativity roll into our year. But... it's the first year that this doesn't happen, and there was no first-timers on. There was none. It was just a bunch of guys that we knew. Obviously, the biggest three that were headlining: Barry Bonds, Curt Schilling, and Roger Clemens. Two tested positive for roids, and that really tarnished their careers. And then you have Schilling, who made some really derogatory comments about journalists, and then politics, whatever. I don't have to get into that. I'm not surprised. I'm really not. I think I'm more pissed at some of the writers that submitted empty ballots. Yeah. Like, if you're going to be a writer, you need to just do that. That's that's a privilege to do. Like, you can't abuse that. Like, there was local writers around the country, and there were some national ones that submitted a blank. Like, that doesn't help. That's not helping the game. And we have bashed Manfred, I don't know how many, like 50 times now on, like, recorded episodes. I can't imagine in group chats. They just cannot get out of their own way.
Yeah. Baseball's dying.
It's sad.
It's so sad. I saw, like, a payroll list yesterday, and it was like the Indians had $28 million payroll going into next year. And then instantly after reading that baseball news, I went to the Hall of Fame has 0 new inductees. And you look at the Hall of Fame list, like you said, Barry Bonds, Curt Schilling, Roger Clemens is in there.
Omar Vizquel. Scott Rowland.
Dude.
Barry Zito. There's tons.
There's so much talent. You're telling me not one of those guys deserve to go to the Hall of Fame this year, if not 2 or 3?
I just think
I don't get it.
Yeah, you had those 3 big names.
What point are they trying to make? Just like...
before roids, Bonds and Clemens could have made the Hall of Fame. And that's going to ruin it. And that's why I think if you get newer writers on... and Schilling actually asked to be taken off.
Yeah.
But the Baseball Writers of America is urging him, dude, stay on for 1 more year. They only have 1 more year of eligibility. So none of them reached that 75%, that voting to get into enshrinement. Big names next year, though. A-Rod and Big Papi.
Yeah. A-Rod and Big Papi Ortiz, I believe, are going to be first ballots. They should be. If they're not, I mean, I can see A-Rod and David not getting voted in, but in my opinion, those two, if they're not first ballots...
well, I think, okay, so really fast. A-Rod's a really good example because he was another one who was in that roid class. But he has just turned his image around completely. To any new baseball fan, you would almost think, God, why would you not love this guy? He's this new media darling that everyone loves. He's on Fox Sports, and he's on the Sunday Night Baseball covers with Matt Vasgersian.
Yeah.
Maybe you take a page out of that.
Yeah.
I don't think those guys get in. But, yeah, maybe Rodriguez later on. Big Papi, you got to get him in.
I know that I'm definitely in the minority of this, but the steroid era doesn't bother me. I honestly think the steroid era of the baseball was the funnest era of baseball.
Yeah, and it's a discussion that goes
league.
down. Yeah, it's a discussion that can go between purists and people that just want to see home runs. And I don't know. It's bad. Biggest news, though, it's just baseball does not. It's dying. It's sad. It's
is.
very, very sad.
It is. We'll have a funeral later this summer.
Special of the day, Dale, your boy, King James. The, what do you say? Kid from Akron. The kid from
Akron.
There you go. Yeah. Man in the arena, whatever. He has all these sayings. Pops off. Goes back to Cleveland. Goes home. So on Tuesday, we weren't. Was it Tuesday? I think
it was Monday night's game.
Or Monday night's game. Okay.
Yeah.
So after we were done recording, he had a mission to go back home to his hometown to OH. Oh, that's what I hear Dale and BDN say all the time. And he wanted to get a win. And what had happened? A GM was clapping and cheering about when he missed. I think he missed some shot or whatever. LeBron heard it in the stands, and in the fourth quarter, completely went off.
Yeah, today's special. LeBron came home, first time playing in Cleveland, I believe, since 17. Jason Hillman, high-ranking official of the Cavs front office. At the end of the third quarter, LeBron threw up a shot, missed. The dude went berserk. He literally acted like he's never seen a missed shot at the end of a quarter before. And LeBron kind of gave him a look like, the fuck? And then, like, just kept looking at him. And the video is crazy. I mean, Jason Hillman honestly embarrassed himself. If you're a front office official for any team and you did this, like, this is embarrassing. And then LeBron went on to score 21 in the fourth. And, of course, the Cleveland Cavaliers lost by 7. But, I mean, LeBron ended the game with 46 points, 8 boards, 6 assists. Will, that dude is special on his own right now.
He's the oldest Laker to score 40-plus points since Kobe Bryant. Somehow Kobe Bryant gets brought back into this. I was cracking up. I was like, dude, this isn't a high school game where if some guy airballs it, airball, or like, you know, you make some sort of mockery of him. The guy kind of puts your team on the map. I would have some sort of class, especially if you're a high-ranking official.
I mean, there's 40 people in the arena. Who do they think it's going to be?
I know. The fact that he could just, like, zero in on him and just dial in and say, all right, fuck this guy.
It was this guy. But, yeah, no, Jason Hillman, look his name up. There's a lot of articles out there that's funny, mocking him. LeBron had every right, in my opinion, to be pissed about that. I would have been, too. But it is what it is. The Cavs have been fighting, and we've been competing, and the Lakers are just a lot better than us. So
Cavs been surprising this season, but the Lakers have the best record in the NBA. They take on the Philadelphia 76ers tonight. Guys, as usual, I'm going to close today for Dale. Remember, follow WOTM Daily. What do you say? On Tiki-Taki? I always look forward to saying that. Seriously, go on all of our social media. You got Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Tiki-Taki. Go on YouTube. Go subscribe. You can listen to our podcast on Apple and Spotify. Go check us out. Dale, let's get through this week and get to Friday.
Let's get it. See you guys later.